Good day, one and all. This is Kathy welcoming you to another episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Say that 14 times fast. Today, I want to make another card based on the Simon Says Stamps Butterfly Blossoms set that I got in the last card kit of the month. I have an idea, and I want to go for it and see what I can do. I want to get as much use out of my stamps as I can. All right, so I'm going to make a yellow card today. This is GinaK's Sweet Corn, but you can use any color that you would like. This is 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it at the usual 5-inch mark, folded it, and creased it with my bone folder. Then I have a piece of white cardstock that is 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. That'll be on the inside of the card. And then I'm also going to cut, I think, a very narrow strip of this to put across here. This is what was left over. Actually, I have 2 pieces left over from when I cut my card base out, and I want to use a little bit of that on the inside of the card. Then I have a piece of black cardstock that is 6 3/8 by 4 3/8, and a piece of white cardstock that is 4 1/4 or 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And these I cut out with GinaK's Master Layouts 8, but I give you the measurements just in case you don't have that. And then I have this little rectangular die. This measures about 2.5 by 3 7/8, and I cut a piece of that out of white cardstock that I want to use on my card today. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, stenciling, and some more heat embossing. I'm going to start by cutting the narrow strip for the inside of this card, and I'm going to do a little stamping. Let's see. I'm going to try to get a straight 1/4 inch strip here. And I did it. All right. Now on the inside of the card, I want to stamp just one of the flower sets. And I want to use this one, because I want to use this one on the outside of the card also. And I think I'm going to put that, I'm going to go, my brain's saying right side. And I know this is the same one I used the other day, but I have a new idea for it. And I want, as I said, I want to use my stamps over and over again. And I'm just going to stamp with my VersaFine Clear Nocturne, my favorite black. That looks good. Okay, clean that off with my tidy towel. And I'll save that out because I'm going to be using that again in just a moment. All right. Okay. Now, I want to put a piece of this across, I'm thinking right across the bottom. I just want to jazz it up, and I'm trying to use up my scraps as I go so I don't have as many pieces, parts, scraps. And this is longer than I need, so I'll just cut the end off here a little bit. But let me get this. Just going to add a little something to the card and use up a scrap at the same time. And then I'll just cut that off. And that can go right on the inside of the card right now. Trying to get this so it's on camera. The older my eyes get, the closer I want the project to me. And I'm trying to get the project closer to you. Okay, so that's the inside of my card. Now for the outside, I'm going to glue the black on while I have this glue open. I'll just put the black on, and then I can concentrate on the rest of the card. Just set that off to the side. Now I'm going to do a little bit of stenciling first. So I just have my waffle flower grip mat here, and reds do stain that. It does not affect how it works. I have GinaK's, this is the Harvest Flourish stencil, and I just want to put a very light coating of gray on this. Very, very lightly. I'm hardly going to press my brush at all. It's just going to add a little bit of texture to the background. And it's just hit and miss. I don't know if you can see. It just adds a very fine color to it. And I'll just set my grip mat aside because I'll use that in a little bit. Put that brush back, and I'm done with the sweet corn. Now I do want to stamp on here twice. I want to put that same flower on both sides. I'll put it in this corner first. I'll start over here. I like this one because it goes to the whole top of the card. And so I'm going to stamp that with my VersaFine Clear. That looks good. Now I'll dry that with my towel. And I'm going to stamp that again on this side. It would be cool if I could have a reverse image of this stamp. There's probably a way of doing that. Maybe by stamping it on acetate, flipping it over. I don't know. That might be something to play around with. I don't even know if that would work. I know I would smear it all over the place, but it's an idea that I don't know if anybody else has tried. Okay, now I can put this away. And while I have my stamping platform out, I am going to stamp on this piece, and then I have some scrap of white on my center panel. I want to stamp this "Thank you for everything" in the center. But I am going to heat emboss this one. So first thing I want to do is I'm just going to put this down, put a piece of acetate over top of it, and I'm just going to use my old VersaFine. I just want a light stamping just to see if this is even. And the top needs to come down slightly. Okay, the TH needs to come down just a hair. So I'm going to try shifting that on there. Because once I heat emboss it, I won't have a chance to fix it if it's not straight. I like that. All right, so I'm just going to clean off my acetate. Clean off my stamp. It's not really necessary. I'm going to emboss in black. So I could use the same ink, but I am preferring to use the other, the Versamark. I just need a couple pieces of this white. I'm going to stamp a couple butterflies, and then I'm going to fussy cut them out, which should be fun. Same butterflies I used the other day. I guess this is my way of showing you that you can do the same stamps and make a different card. I have some ink on here I want to get off. All right. Now I'm going to use the Versamark. This is a watermark stamp pad. And I'm going to take my Swiffer. That seemed to work the other day. Where did my Swiffer cloth get to? Well, I had a Swiffer here. Okay, I don't have my Swiffer here, so I'm just going to go and Versamark this. And I'm going to do that twice, just because I want to make sure I've got a good coating on here. And I'll clean that off with my tidy towel. Okay, and I'm just going to take these out. And I'm done with the stamp pad. Now I get a piece of scrap paper. And I am using Wow embossing powder, primary ebony, super fine. I got somewhere I don't want it to be, so I'm just going to take a brush and brush off. Now you have to be careful when you're brushing, because if you brush into your letter, you will remove the embossing powder from your letter. Okay. These ones I don't have to worry too much about the outside, because I am going to fussy cut these out. I'm going to try to fussy cut them out. Guess I should have stopped a moment to get my Swiffer, but I think, all right. And I got black powder all over my desk. I just need a wet wipe for that one. Okay, now let's see how these come out. Hopefully, okay. I'm gonna turn. I have a really old Doris heat tool, and it's loud. My camera does not silence for that. I'm sorry. I go from the front and then the back. You can see the paper wants to curl up when you get the heat just going in one direction. And there it goes, starts changing. Okay. Now these I'll fussy cut out when I'm done. And I did have some powder that got kind of where I didn't see it. So I'm going to see if I can get it off here. little bit. But what you can do is take a white gel pen and just go where the spots were. Once this dries, you won't see it. This is a Jelly Roll 10. Can't wait. I'm going to Scrapbooking Show Rubber Stamp Convention at the end of this month, and I want to get myself one of those anti-static powder tools. Okay, I'll let that dry, and now I'm going to get out the stencils again. Okay. Now the flower, let me put these back. I like on Simon Says stamps that the plastic is hinged at the top, so I don't have to worry about losing the one piece of plastic. Okay, this flower is F3, and the stencil that comes with it is also marked as an F3. Oh, that's a piece of vellum, so I need F3. Right there it is. Okay, now I am going to take, let's see, here's another piece of paper that I cut out of the other day. And I'm going to mask off that side of the card. And I'm going to come in with a small blending brush, I think. Let's see if I have a little one here. Not in that color, but let me see if there's any color on this left. Okay, that's good. I'm going to use GinaK's Sweet Corn. And this is a GinaK blender. And I'm just going to do the flowers and the sweet corn. And I don't have a green over here, so let me get up real quick. Once I'm done, I'm going to use Butterscotch for the. Let's see how the Butterscotch is a darker yellow, and it'll kind of make it look brown on these tall, whatever this part of the floral arrangement is. All right. Now I'm going to get my green. Just a second. Okay, I'm going to use Jelly Bean Green, and I know I have a green small blending brush. Okay, let me see how that looks. That looks good. So I'm just going to shift this over and do the same color combinations over here. I'll just start with the green, and I don't need to put that paper down on this side. Okay. And I want to go with the sweet corn with the bigger of the flowers. That's the one that's the same color as the cardstock I chose. Okay. And then I'm going to go Butterscotch. This is not a dark color, but because of the way this is stamped, and the lines are so close together that when you put yellow on there, it kind of makes it look brown. Almost like a cattail, but I know it's not a cattail. Okay. And that's my coloring. Now I need to color the butterflies. And let's see. The butterfly with the, let's see, that's B2 and this one's B5. And B5 is on here. And I am going to go with the butterscotch. With a tiny bit of honey mustard. And this is a darker color, but on these center wings. Just a little bit on the side of the brush. If I had a smaller yellow brush, that would work great. So that one's that color. Now this one is B2, and so that's on another stencil. Okay. Now in this one, I want to do the honey mustard kind of all over, but in a light color. And then do the edge darker. So I sort of have two different color butterflies, but they're using the same color combinations. Okay. All right, now I get to fussy cut these out. Let me get my little scissors. Not great at fussy cutting, but I'm going to give it a go. Now you can get a die set for this. Honestly, the butterflies would probably be the only part I would use that I wouldn't stamp flat. But when you get the card kit, you don't get the matching dies. And they're not really necessary. Now, if I could ever figure out that I have a brother GinaK, it's just a very expensive paperweight. It was difficult to figure out, and like in the first few days I had it, I went through 2 mats, and those 2 mats are too expensive. So by hand it is. Then I get these done. It's just putting the card together. And I'm not a fan of big white borders. I like very diminutive white borders around anything. I would honestly prefer it cut out flush without a white border. But that's not going to happen right now. Okay. Now I'm just going to, I'll just use my tidy towel to clean this. Set that on. Okay, well, let me put this card together now. Stencils go over there to be washed. Now this is going to go in the middle. And I like how the colors are looking with the black. It just adds a little something. Okay, now this I want to put in the middle. And I want to pop that up, so I'm going to use some foam tape. And I'm actually going to double the height of this foam tape today. So I'm just going to take the cover off and put another piece on top. I want this to be a little taller. Now, if you didn't have foam tape, you can just cut some scrap paper and keep stacking behind until it's the height you want it to be. Okay. Now, I want to see exactly where I want this to be. Do I want it dead center? Move to the top a little bit. I'm thinking kind of here. And then add these little butterflies like that. I think that's the way I want them. And so for these, I'm just going to glue them down flat. And this one, I'm just doing half of the wing. The other half, I want to put just a thin little foam dot behind it. And I may stack those twice. Let's see. No, I think just one will do for that one. Okay, add a few little embellishments and some wink of Stella or Stickles. One of those two. I have some, these are clear, translucent, but they're a yellow hue to them with some glitter in them. So I'm going to try. And of course, let me get the glue off my finger. I think a bigger one there. Another little teeny one. Yes, I do. That one went right underneath there. Come on out. All right, so I'm going to put my glue down now. I want that one to go here. This one here. And that one stuck to my glue bottle. There you go. Stay right there. Get off the glue bottle, please. And thank you. Okay. Now that they're on the card, I can use my wax pickup tool and pick them up and place them down. And I need one. Where did that little one go? Okay. Cool. Okay, now I just want a little bit of bling, and I'm going to use diamond stickles. I'm going to put it in the center of this butterfly. And on this large flower over here, and I'll use my brush to get that in. This one, and then this one over here. Not all the flowers, just random. And let me pick it up and look and see if it needs anything else. No, I like that. Okay, and I'll see if I can get you to see how the stickles really sparkles. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not sure if there's going to be a video tomorrow. I'm going to try my best, but I've got a lot of things going on. Otherwise, I will see you on Friday. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.